Bwana asifiwe. Praise the Lord. Good morning. Mko aje? Mko poa? Very good. I thank God for today. Indeed, this is the day that the Lord has made. Me, I choose to be glad and rejoice in it. I don't know about you. It's my first time to be here. And even in this environment, and seeing you men, it gives me a lot of joy. I like being in the midst of men because that is where I grow, that is where I'm challenged, that is where I'm encouraged. Bwana asifiwe. As you have heard, my names are John Kanyoni, and I'm humbled. Just humbled. Sometimes when things are said about me to introduce me, sometimes I wonder, is that me? Because to me, it's sijui nisemeje. I am not a perfect man. So if you are looking for a perfect man to talk to you, I can give you leave. I am a man still under, naonanga ile nasemanga, still under. Most of the places that I've gone, not that I've visited many places, there's always one question that I always hear. Where are the men? Where are the men? I go to schools, majority of the people are women. I go to, even when we have couples meetings, there are some ladies who will just come alone, but the number of men is also, I know they are single parents, yes. You go to organizations or any other function, the question is still, where are the men? Things are going wrong in the society. Nani watu wanaulizanga nani? Wanaume wako wapi? Isn't it? So this question started troubling me over 15 years ago because of what I was going through as a man. And I was asking God, who is it? Who, when you create a man, the head, you know, there are so many things we hear. What is that interpretation in me? Because I felt so deficit in bringing up the children. By the way, my children that time were growing up, and I used to be called to go and talk to people about parenting because I had bigger children. You get? But when I go, like a pastor has said here, they didn't know the challenges I was going through myself. But because my children are big, now I was an expert in raising children. You get the point? And then I came to realize that there is something in my struggles that other people are seeing and they want to know, not my success stories, but how I have struggled to get where I've been, where I am. And even in salvation, that's the way it is. Because temptations are there in our way. And we win others by them knowing how we have struggled even in salvation to succeed. Because as men, what we always say is, by the way, we are always the perfect ones. Every man has always been the best in everything. We have never failed, because that is what we portray. And even the ones we are bringing up or the ones we are mentoring, they start wondering, kwani what is wrong with me? Nikiangalia pastor hapa, yeye mambo yake ni amegrow vizuri, mimi ni nini shida? But what I don't know is what he has gone through. One time I listened to somebody who was speaking, a motivation speaker, to some children in school. He talked and everybody was admiring him because of who he is, and then he's now said, let me tell you, if I tell you what I have gone through, and you are given an option to go through what I've gone through to be who I am today, only 10% of you can say, wacha nipitie hiyo njia. Amen? Now, so why is the question, where are the men? And when I was going through this, the 15 years that I've said, God referred me to Genesis 3:9. And we know the story. Adam was there in the Garden of Eden. He was given instructions. He was given a companion, a suitable helper. He was given dominion. And in the Garden of Eden, God would come. Imagine God akikuja fellowship na wewe. Right? So this particular day, God came and Adam was not where God had left him. The first time God also used the question that people are asking today. He asked Adam, where are you? Hello? So that's a man, Adam. So why was God asking Adam, where are you? Does it mean that God could not see Adam? Alikuwa amejificha. So does it mean that God did not see him where he was, so he was asking him, where are you? I don't know whether when we were young, now Francis, now we come in there. Ile mchezo tulikuwa tunacheza ya kujifichana. Unafunga macho, then nakimbia na uko najificha, then nakwambia, then unaanza kunitafuta. Now you are wondering where I am. Is that the situation that God was in? Looking for Adam? He created Adam. He created the leaves he was using to cover himself. He created everything. Does it mean he could see him? No. So why was God asking? And we will pick up from there. Number one, Adam was not where God had left him. Number two, Adam was not doing what God had asked him to do. Number three, Adam was afraid. He was guilty because of what he had done. Guilty and ashamed, is it the same? No. So he was ashamed. And he could not come out. He was still a man. He was still a man. But he was not where God had left him. So could it be that today, when God is asking, Kanyoni, where are you? I am still the man he created, but I'm not where he wanted me to be. I'm not doing what he wanted me to be doing. I could be doing other things. Hello? I could be doing other. Maybe out of my priority, out of my fear, out of my guilt. But I'm still there, but I cannot be felt. And this is the challenge we have, men. And some of the things we are going to look at is, why are we hiding? And maybe where are we hiding? And what will make us come out from where we are hiding? Are we there? Allow me to look at 4 things that will help us understand masculinity, ourselves as men, which, from what I have gathered here and there, could define men and could be a cause of some of the places where we hide or some of the things that we go after. And the first one is every man is in need of definition of an identity. Definition of an identity. Am I a real man? And to me, and the people that I've shared with, the men that I've shared with, depending on what defines a manhood to you, that is what we struggle to maintain. But as if you were. Let me ask you, because I'm not lecturing, we are interactive. What or when did you first feel or believe that you have become a man? So depending on what we took, and that is what we valued. Hello? That is what we will strain to maintain, because that is what makes us a man, amongst other things. Some of us got married not because we were ready, but because ndio tuingie moherega in the clan. and be counted. Kwa hiyo dhingira, now we can now be allowed to come in. We got married. Kweli uongo? So things that defined our manhood to make us real as men, those are the things that we need. So when we were young, when we saw a guy who had a number of girlfriends, a number of chicks, to us that was a man. And we tried it. He's a conqueror. We tried it. It's by the grace of God that we are here. Bwana asifiwe. So every man is looking for definition of manhood. And whatever you feel and whatever makes you feel you are a man, that is what you will go for, whether it is right or wrong. Do I have what it takes to be a man? Do I have what it... And no wonder today, do you know there are a number of men, and I know there is none here, a number of men who are going for additives, the Viagras, because that is what will make them men. Hello? Ni kweli ama ni uongo? I know of men who, because of rejection, and I will touch that again, by their wives, by the society and whatever, they are now in brothels because that is where they prove their manhood. Hello? And some of those men are in the church. Hello? So definition of manhood is one of the things that now will shape us and will cause us to be the men that we are. Number 2, brotherhood. Association. Do I have men who can give me an environment, a space to open up, a space to be vulnerable, a space to be who I am, share who I am, including my weaknesses, without being seen less of a man, without being condemned, without being judged? Hello? And we have had this, and I have started kidogo now sharing some of this in TikTok and YouTube, and there's something I posted the other day. Men don't cry. Because that's what we were told. How many ever heard that? Men don't cry. And I completed that and I said, yes, it is true, men don't cry, but there is something they didn't tell us beyond that. Pastor amesema, which is true, machozi inaingia wapi? Ndani. Men don't cry, but only before women and children. Because they are depending on us. Right? So pastor akikuja anza kuambia mashida ambayo ako nayo na whatever, alafu anahubiria, mtamwamini kweli? Kama ameshindwa. You're getting what I'm saying? So men don't cry, but before women and before other men we cry. But you cry, do you have men you can cry to without them judging you? Without them going to the cell group, the next meeting, and they are saying, jamani, I have a prayer request on behalf of Kanyoni, tumuombee kwa sababu anachapwa na bibi yake sana. It could be true, that's what I shared with you. But the forum where you're sharing it, when I hear it, oh, sichapangi na bibi, I'm just using an example. But the forum where I'm sharing it, when I share with you, when I hear it now, because the minute you say it, people will pray. The next time is, somebody will come to me and you tell me, oh, we even prayed for you. Hukuja sell last time. Hata tulikuombea. Na uniambie kwa sababu ya kuchapwa na bibi. Then I will know, ni nani alisema. Do you think I'll ever share something with you? Do you think I'll ever do that? Man, there are a number of things that we are going through, but I need to share up with somebody. Can I tell you something else? I went to a church one morning, somewhere in Buruburu, early in the morning. We normally do our first meeting 7 in the morning or 6. So when I was leaving and I was being escorted by the leader of the men's group, there's a man who followed me. And he told me, I know my sign is here, so I'll try to use it. He came and rushed to me and he told me, as you go, I don't know what you can. I didn't want to ask when we were there. But you know, I'm newly married. We are only 3 years now. Lakini sasa, for the last 4 months, nimenyimwa. Then the leader of the men looked at him and akamuuliza, you said how many months? 4. Do you know what he asked him? Only. That was a quick response that came out. Then I told him, I don't think I even have to answer you. There's somebody who has experienced. Are you getting it? Because sometimes things are happening to us and we think we are the only ones. That's why we can't go out in public. Because we think everybody is seeing us. And when we hear people hear about it, then we think we are less of a man. We are not. We are still men who are still struggling. We are still the heads. Hello? And that's why some of us cannot even come. So that question of where are the men, one of the reasons is we are scared, we are afraid that our weaknesses will be exposed. And because of our ego, I would rather not be there. Are we there? So do I have men? We are more concerned today about the people who will carry our coffin when we die, than we're getting worried about the men that we can be with, walk with, do this life together. I don't care. When I die, mimi nimeenda. Mwili mutabaki nayo. Hello? Mubebe musibebe, mwili mutabaki. Nani ashai kuona mwili ambao imekosa mtu wa kubeba? Men, let us look for people we can do life with. Men we can walk with. That we can have, in the groups that I am, there is what we call confidentiality. Not that we are hiding anything. But because the environment that we are and the agreement that we have, there are things that we are talking, like the Vingira that we are saying, and they don't go out of here. Hello? So I have those men. And because of that, these men know my weaknesses. They call me out. When they hear of a certain behavior, they will call me out. I have men, if they found me seated somewhere with a lady, the first thing they will come is directly. Sasa, Bwana asifiwe. They will make sure they use that. Najua kuna ule pastor anasemanga, usiniambie Bwana asifiwe tukiwa na huko nje. Sitaki kusema jina yake. So Bwana asifiwe vizuri. I am so and so. Na huyu ni nani? Because he's a lady, they want to know. Hapo. Hello? So those are the men we would want to have. I combine that with the next one, which is called safe space. Safe space. So, I said the brotherhood, the men that I have, somewhere where I can be able to open up. Somewhere I can be able to say, Pastor ameuliza hapa nani ako na deni. Ni ngumu sana. Kuingia kwa deni ni rahisi, lakini ni ngumu kutafuta hiyo deni. Especially kukopa pesa. Sijui kama uko kama mimi. Before nikope, pastor, nikuje kwako na niko na haja. But ndani yangu it's like I'm not supposed to, but I have to. Hata itanibidi na mimi nimeokoka, nitanibidi niongeze ka uongo. Because hako ndio nafikiria kataniwezesha unionee huruma unikopeshe. But can I come in and I messed up? Hello? You are my brother, I'm vulnerable. I messed up with my finances. Familia yangu haina kitu ya kukula. This is the situation that we are in. I'm coming to you as a brother. Can I be that free, open to come to you? Because you have given me the space and I've also given you the space. Now this is a challenge that we have even in church. Because some of the challenges that we have, we can never open up. And that's why a number of men are getting depressed. We can't open up because And this is one thing I told God. I will open up wherever I am. I don't care what people think about me. Because not opening up has been biting me for many years. People have had a different impression about me. Hello? So that when they hear about me, watu wengine wanasema hapana, Kanyoni hawezi fanya hivyo, then you are presented with evidence. Kai, na vile ameokoka. Some of us are scared of being excommunicated from church. So we have not come out, and we are still struggling with what is biting us. Right? Because if we say our weakness, tutafukuzwa church. If we say our weakness, the first question is, sinilidhani umeokoka. Bado nimeokoka, but this is something I'm struggling with. Hello? So how do you receive me? Of course, I can't come to church, the whole church, and I say, I am struggling with fornication, adultery, infidelity, you know? But can I have a few? Can I go to pastor nimwambie na ni receive as I am? Hello? Do you have men who take you as you are, but they hate what you do? And they are willing to help you overcome what you do? Or is it men that when they hear what you do, staki kuonekana na yeye? Hello? Of course it is true, because nikionekana na wewe na imejulikana na kila mtu, then hata mimi nitaambiwa niko kwa group. But we need that knowledge, and we need to come out and come out together. And lastly, the other one is significance. Significance. Every man wants to leave a legacy. And we say a worthwhile legacy. So whatever we do, masomo, biashara, hata kanisani, in the service, it is we want to be men who can leave a legacy. And in us, kila mtu akona mpangilio ama what you would want to be or what you would want to do. Many a times it doesn't reach out. Haifikiani. Hello? And there are so many challenges, because some of them is we are doing it in a selfish way. Selfish way. I was talking to some candidates last week, and I asked them, who is looking for an A at the end of the year? So many hands came up. So I was asking, why do you want an A? Because I want to be a medical doctor, blah, blah, so I want to get a university, and you. So everything was I. And I told them that's the wrong reason. Like I'll tell you men here, it's the wrong reason, because God never created you to gain for yourself. Hello? Whatever God has given us, knowledge, possession, position, and even family, everything that God has given us, He has given it for His creation. We are only entrusted. Hello? It is when we start realizing that we know that whatever has been given is for others. I release it, I give it out, then God will add me more so that I can continue to give, because God is a giver. He gave His only begotten Son for me. Si ni kweli? So let us stop being selfish, because many a times we are so selfish, man. That is why we cannot even come together. When we come together, even over a small meeting, a small committee, we are planning something even in church or whatever, everybody wants to be heard. I don't know whether you have gone to meetings. I chair a number of meetings, and I tell people, issues of I want to agree with so and so, Staki. Hello? Sisha semwa. So why do you want to agree? Say something different. No, I want to put it in a different way. Nani amekwambia tu understand? Are you getting the point? So can we build up on what has been said? Hello? Not repeating what has been. Now, when I say something and you come and do it, say it in a better language. So what are you telling me? Or what are you telling the team? Mimi ndio sijui kizungu, mimi ndio sijui kupresent, lakini point ni ile ile. Si ndio? So, doing things, we don't do things for selfish reasons. God created us for service. I was telling people the other day, and that's my belief. The only reason that I'm living today is to proclaim the goodness of the Lord. Hello? I am a testimony. That's why we say I'm a living testimony. So that others can see the struggles I've had and I'm still living today. By the grace of God, I'm 64. So by the time I'm getting there with the things that I've done, it's not that Mungu amenirespect sana. He's not a respect of persons. But there is somebody who will see, kama anaweza fanyia Kanyoni hivyo, hata mimi, I will not give up. Hello? So badala niringie mtu, let me be humble and share what I have. Now, all that I'm sharing here today, and that's what I told those young men. The teachers who teach you, do they benefit from the knowledge ikikaa kwa kichwa yao? Does it benefit? Pastor, you are going to heaven, and I believe tunaenda pamoja. Hello? Amen? Now, with all the scriptures that he has here and whatever good God puts in him, if he doesn't share for others to benefit, he will still go to heaven, but has he fulfilled God's purpose? Does it benefit him? So each and every person has something that God has given you. But we compare ourselves with others, and we feel ourselves deficit. There is a legacy we can live in the way we are. Hello? But we are looking for others and the way they are and comparing, and we feel we are short. God did not. You know what I believe? When God created us in his own image but unique, there was no replica. At God created another Kanyoni, it would have been very boring, by the way. Hello? So let me find out, who am I? What does God want with me in my shortcomings, the way I am? Wengine wetu ni wafupi. Hello? Wengine ni warefu. There is a reason. It was not a mistake. It reminds me of a man I knew in the old age, Kitambo. He was in Ziwani in the 70s. This man was born again. That's when the Pentecostal movement was really starting up. So this man, he was disabled. He was living with disability. He had never walked in his life. Na alikuwa initially akienda kanisani ndio miujiza itendeke aweze kutembea. That was not God's plan. But Mutinda would tell his wife, he was married, I will protect you as long as I'm alive. So you look at the person on a wheelchair and he's saying you will. One time, where they were living in Kaloleni, the estate, kukakuja wakora. So wakaanza kuvunja nyumba in line. So mke wake akasikia wakora wanavunja nyumba, akamwamsha. So akaamka. Nini? Wakora, nasikia kuna wakora. Wapi? Si unasikia Baba Odhiambo vile analia. Na Baba Odhiambo was big. Baba Odhiambo na yeye ni anaita mama yake, na mama yake alikufa. So the wife was now is like, wakikuja na huyu wangu sasa sini. This guy, as much as he had a voice, And one friend, they said, Mutinda akisema Bwana asifiwe, kila mtu anajua na hata anaitikia because of the voice. Right? So, what Mutinda said, don't worry, I'll protect you. Because that's what so he asked God, I don't have legs, but this is my family, I will protect. Akaambia mke wake, niinue uniwekelee kwa stool karibu na mlango. Then akaambia mke wake, I have bows and arrows, nilete. Akaletewa pale. So amekaa, mlango iko pale, about 3 steps from the door. Hapo ndio aliwekelewa kwa stool. Wife hata akatoroka. Because anajua sasa hapa tutachapa So the guys came, mlango ikagongwa na mawe ya 9, puk, ikaanguka chini, pap. Mutinda is there, akachukua, akavuta. Akapata jamaa wa kwanza. Jamaa wa kwanza ati aliwika, Mutinda was saying, he has never had anyone with that language that guy was talking. Then akatoa ile sauti yake akasema, next. There was no next. What is it that God has given you to be the man that He wants you to be? Don't compare yourself with others. Hello? That is our God. He made me to be a man. That is what He has equipped me in. I have struggled in marriage. Mimi na Mungu one time aliniuliza, Kanyoni, you are crying to me for marriage. Nani aliingiza box, huyo dem box? Kasema ni mimi. Kasema, do you know there are so many that tried kwa huyo? Some even wanted to commit themselves, to commit suicide. But she chose to choose you, wale wengine wakufe. I said, where? So men, there is something that God has given us for us to live and leave a legacy. For us to be mentors. You don't have to do it the way I'm doing it. You can do it in silence and people look at you and it's like, I think I like his approach. Hello? So men, let me finish off with 3 A's. 3 A's. The first A is acceptance. Things that we are struggling with and things that we are becoming short of being men because of our interpretation for this. Number 1 is acceptance. Every human being, not even a man, wants to be accepted. Hello? But how we are accepted will combine with what we talked about, manhood and definition of manhood, and we'll do it in a different way. So there are some things we do not because we need them, but because we think they will make us be accepted. Hello? No offense, but I've shared this with a number of people. Some of the vehicles we have bought, we didn't need them. Hello? We didn't need them at the time we bought, but they were to give us acceptance and status wherever we move. Are we there? And vehicles are good. I actually want to change mine. Mungu akinijalia. Hello? But what is the reason or what gives you acceptance? Some of the things that we did and compare those days, when we would borrow somebody's shoes because you have a date. Nini hamukufanya hiyo maneno? Or you're borrowing somebody's jacket because you have? Yeah, to create that impression. And we have lived through. And today, even in salvation, we are still going with that attitude before God to be accepted. So there are things that we are doing not because we believe, but we are doing because we think they are the ones that will make God accept us. And God is not accepting us, and we are getting so frustrated. So acceptance. When we are not accepted, we get affected. And it is depressing. Especially to the people you value that should accept you. In your workplace, your bosses. To a certain class of friends. In church. Ni LCC tu peke yake. But maybe because I don't know. In those other churches, we are all competing to be accepted by the senior pastor. Hello? I was a Catholic before. And kwa mazishi. Kama father hangekuja kwa mazishi, tunasema hiyo mazishi haikuzikanwa. Are you getting the point? We have to affect being accepted. Because our acceptance gives us and men, we have an ego that we need to feed. That is why some of us are struggling in marriage. Because we are doing things to be accepted by our wives. Wives, when I say wives, I mean yours and mine. I don't mean wewe uko na wengi. So we want to do things to be accepted by our wives and our children. Now wanashindwa. The other day a young man I'm working with. Engineer. Okay. I'm an engineer. I'm an electrical engineer. Engineer si uongee na dadi. Akikuja home, yes, sio manager ule ako kwa job. Akikuja home yeye ni dadi. Hello? And some of us are having that as a problem. We are bringing our status at home to be accepted. And we think the way we are accepted there is the way we are accepted here. We are struggling with that. Francis will know that if you don't call me chairman because I'm a chairman, you are not recognizing me. Na inanikula. It will also depend on how I'm going to relate with you now. So I miss to relate with you the way God has set me to relate with you because you are not recognizing me. So our minds are skewed. That's why now we cannot find the purpose of God. Because we are struggling with other things. We are men. We are doing other things in a priority. That's why people are asking, where are you? A pastor friend of mine lost, he passed on, so we went for the funeral. Just before that, I was walking with his son. So we went and the son insisted, utaka hapa familia inakaa. You sit next to me. That's what the son said. He was 15 years. So I sat there. So as the tributes were being made, because to Lika, tributes from others took 2 hours. Kijana akaniuliza, whom are they talking about? Hello? Whom are they? Because whoever they are talking about, this is the son, he doesn't know that man. Does your son know you the way we know you? That's a challenge that we have. I have men who today are crying, hiyo machozi ni ile tulisema inaenda na ndani, because ako na watoto who cannot visit him. Hello? And he provided for them. One man even sold a car, I know, ndio apeleke mtoto shule. So the other day he was telling me, unaona ile dhenge, nimewaekea wakikuja nitawachinjia. Unaweza ongea na kijana yangu. Nasikia hata amepata mtoto anaitwa mimi na sijamuona. Hello? Then you want me to go and have status na uko to be accepted out there? Wacha ikae. The first ministry gave me is in my home, in my house. I will not be ashamed of who they are. Whether it is a reflection of me, whether it is temptation, that is where my going to be proved. Now, how many times as fathers, because of our image, we have neglected those that God has given us? The next one is affirmation. And we are struggling with that, men, because of the ego we have. Affirmation. You do something umejitolea, then nobody even recognizes. Hiyo tu. Nobody recognizes you. We have a weakness. And pastors who are here, you will agree with me. Tunaenda kwa pulpit, tumetandika injili, but because we are looking at us, tukitoka hapo, nobody tells you, oh, imenijenga, that was a word from God. Then unaanza kushindwa, these people do not never appreciate. Inakuuma zaidi, mpaka unakosa baraka kwa Mungu, because you are looking for people's affirmation. Affirmation is important, and we need to be affirmed, yes. Even when we are struggling, we need to be encouraged. We need to be told you have done well. Keep trying. Right? But God intentionally brings people in our life to test us on affirmation. And one of these great people is our wives. Mimi nishawahi kuulizwa na mke wangu, huyo nimesema I'm the most happily married man. What kind of a man are you? Are we there? And when we look at that, then we want to go for possession and position, so that it can give us affirmation. Of course, when somebody is asking you, what kind of a man are you? Look at the words, not the language or the way that it has come up. What is it that you are doing that she's not seeing? Because she could also be wrong. Hello? And that is what we always see. But it could also be that what I'm doing, haifikiani. So affirmation is important. And some of us are struggling here today, even in this room, because we were never affirmed by our fathers. Who here was ever told or has ever been told by your father, you are great, I love you, I believe in you, I'm proud of you? How many have been told? You. Yes. Every place I have gone, the percentage is never more than 10%. Mkinga wewe utakuwa mkora wewe. Kubaf. Oh. Are you getting what I'm saying? And because of that, there is an inherent need for us to have that affirmation, so that then we can continue to do. We are affirmed, we are validated by the affirmation. Then we have the strength to go and do it. When it doesn't come, we feel short of. We are shy. We think we don't belong. We think we can't. And that's a struggle that we are having. It is important. When our Lord Jesus, before he began his ministry, he went to River Jordan, was baptized by John. Then the voice came from, this is my, in whom I'm well pleased. We didn't get that affirmation. We are struggling today to prove ourselves. We don't have to. Hello? Our fathers, like me, they were also never affirmed. They were wounded. They had their own struggles. They didn't know the value of it. But now today, you know that value. Stand affirmed in the Lord, because you're the man God created. Go and affirm your children. Hello? The last one is affection. The The last A, love. Some of us, the times that we have been told we are loved, it has been fake. It has been for an intention. Because we are the ATM. Ni ile kitu inatoboka, tunatoboka, ndio inafanya tuambie tunape. But many of us are struggling because we need it. We need to be loved. Hello? God is love. We are told to love our neighbor as we love. But do we love ourselves? But we want to be loved. And that word is so confusing that most of the people, when they are told they are loved, because of the value that it gives in us, we go haywire. Some of the girls that have become pregnant all over, it's just that word they were told, and it was fake. Hello? And a number of us men, I have worked in the corporate for a number of years. A lady just comes and tells you she loves you. Unaanza kusahau bibi yako. Sababu yeye akwambia anakupenda. Na akikwambia anakupenda ni kwa sababu kuna kakitu amepangia. So how do we attract love? We'll do that in the second session after we take the break. Because we must attract these things. Hello? We are blaming others, but we could be the problem